Hello one and all, welcome to the Math Magic Show. In this one we're going to learn how to solve this equation here that says x to the square root of x minus 1 equals x. So we have the following here. X raised to the square root of x minus 1 equals x. That's our first equation. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ln of both sides. So it becomes ln of x to the square root of x minus 1 equals ln of x. And why would I know how to take the ln? Well, because I have something with an exponent, and then on top of it, take a look at this next step. I can bring that and place it out front, so it becomes the square root of x minus 1 times ln of x equals ln of x. Now at this point, be careful. You might be tempted to just divide the ln x on the left and the right side away, but you cannot do that because, for example, one of the values that makes that true is the same one that says that you would be dividing by 0. So in other words, if you plug in x equals 1 in there, you would have ln of 1, which is 0 on the left, and ln of 1, which is 0 on the right, and then you would end up with 0 over 0, which is not defined. So you cannot just divide ln of x away for that reason. And then take a look. Next stage, I'm going to have the following now. Square root of x minus 1 times ln of x minus ln of x equals 0. So I took the ln of x from the right side of step 3 and I moved it to the left side of step 4. So it looks as shown. And notice I've also at step 4 put them in red because now I can clearly tell that those two ln x's are common factors. I can factor outside of parentheses. So it's going to be here ln of x on the outside of parentheses, square root of x minus 1 minus 1 equals 0. And be careful at this point here where it says minus 1 in brown right here, because when you factor this ln of x out, what's left over in that position is negative 1 and not nothing. Or for example 0 or something like that. There's always a number left over. Okay, now from this point we're going to apply a rule known as the principle of zero products. What does that tell us? The only way that step 5 can be true is if the following is true. So either ln of x equals 0 by itself, or the other possibility is that the expression up across the top there, square root of x minus 1 equals 0. So that's the portion in brown. So now let's solve each of these. So let's go back to 6a for a second, where it says ln x equals 0. And to solve that equation, I'm going to exponentiate. So it becomes e to the ln of x equals e to the 0. So in other words, I'm exponentiating both sides, and I would do that for the following reason, because the e and the ln functions are inverses, so I can cancel them off like that, you see? And that will give me just x by itself. Take a look at step 6c. In other words, I will say that x equals 1 because e to the 0 is 1. Okay, so that gives us one of the answers, x equals 1. Now, let's go back to step 7a across the top, and I have, remember, the square root of x minus 1 equals 0. Let's take a look at that. So that's going to be the following. First, I'm going to do plus 1. So in other words, I'm taking this negative 1 right here, minus 1. I'm moving into the right side with addition. That's 7b. Then at 7c, I'm going to basically need to square both sides. So it's going to be the square root of x minus 1 squared equals 1 squared for that reason. Alright, so now that will cancel. The square root and the 2 there will cancel off. So at step 7d, I will have x minus 1 equals 1 squared, which is 1. And now I'm just close, just basically add 1 to both sides. So in other words, it's going to be x minus 1 plus 1 equals 1 plus 1. Adding 1 to both sides. On the left side, that will give us x. On the right side, I have 2. So that's the other solution to the original equation. So as you can see, this is not necessarily an elementary kind of equation. It does involve knowing quite a few different things, but it is very interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in another video.